Breyer's Music Showcase is brought to you by the people over at Patreon. Pledge today and get access to exclusive perks. Link in the description. Welcome to Breyer's Music Showcase. I'm Bryer Cisneros and welcome back to another video. And this here is the first full-length video of 2026. So hopefully you had a good winter break, even though it's kind of way past that at this point. But regardless, we are starting this year right because today is going to be a historic moment for this channel. So I did some shopping online and pretty much almost all of these are from eBay. And one of these CDs is going to become the 2000th CD to enter the collection. So it seems not that long ago where I got to 1,000, but of course with my habits it was gonna happen eventually. So we have a lot to get through. We're gonna unbox all of these, and then at the very end, which is funny enough because right now I'll put the number of how many CDs we have currently, and that's 1991 CDs, and I have exactly 9 more within these packages. So the last CD that we'll cover will be the 2000s. So, and that'll be probably in this box. We'll save the box for last. So whatever's in the box, that will be the 2000 CD to enter the collection. So hopefully you stick around to the end, so that way you can see what will be the 2000 CDs. So if you enjoy unboxing videos in general, then please go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to look in the description for my social media pages and my Patreon page, because if you're on my Patreon page, you'll be the first to know what CDs will be in this. So by the time this video comes out, my Patrons have already know what's in these packages. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So of course, gotta get the box cutter just in case, although I'm pretty sure most of these I won't need this. So we'll start off with this tiny one here. Only one CD, and you can also tell it's from eBay. So I think I will need the box cutter for this, just like so. And in this one, we have, and I can just see a little bit, but I didn't get a good enough look in it. I'm gonna see if I can just slide it out. And this CD is, okay, shout out to my boy Nick from Townsend 505. This is Trafalgar by the Bee Gees. And the reason why I have this is because of course I do an album exchange with my friends. Currently it's me, Jason, Nick, and Scott on Jason's channel. And this was Nick's suggestion for the album exchange. And I was gonna get it for that exchange because I usually like to buy them before we do the video, but it was during December, and of course in December I promised I wouldn't buy any CDs throughout the entire month, and so I couldn't really get the album in time, but better late than never. So this is during their kind of their mid period. This is when they weren't as not as commercially successful, even though this had one big hit, and that of course is How Can You Mend the Broken Heart. But the rest is kind of more ballady sort of songs. Nothing too upbeat. It's kind of more chill, which I've read that it's kind of I don't know if you say a controversial, not really controversial, but kind of divisive among Bee Gees fans. Artwork's cool, by the way. But besides from the big hits, not many songs are you won't see many people talk about too much. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I have heard the album already because for the exchange, and I'll say you can check out that album exchange video. If I remember, I'll put a link to it in the description so you can check it out. But this, even though I heard it last year, I bought the CD this year, so it will be a contender for the top 50 at the end of this year. But still, good to get more Bee Gees in the collection, and spoiler alert, not the last time we'll see them in this video. Moving along, we're gonna go with this one right here. I think I can probably just rip it. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, that was easy. I can probably just pull it out. And in this one, we have, okay. So I talked about the album exchange a second ago, and this was from the last album exchange, and this one is from the one we're building up to, and this should look familiar because this was part of that poll I did recently on my channel about just pick one album from the 4 I listed. Now you kind of know why, because this is for the next album exchange we have planned, and this is Jason's pick. This is Crosby and Nash. So of course Crosby, as in David Crosby and Graham Nash, this is of course when they were a duo, and this actually came very later in their, I guess in this duo's discography, because this came out in 2004, and this is a 2-disc pack, so practically a double album, pretty much. So there's disc 1 right there, and then I think it goes this way. There's disc 2, I think. And then we have a little booklet that we'll go through, of course. So I do have a Crosby and Nash album already. I think I forgot what it was called. I was blanking at the moment, but I'll put like the image of the album cover up so you can see. And I remember I really dug that album quite a bit. And you got some credits on here. You have Leland Sklar on bass, a very well-known bass player. And you have some, these are just credits for all the songs. It's a long album from what it looks like, so we'll see how I dig it, especially because this is them later in life. So hopefully I'm gonna go with it with pretty decent expectation. Hopefully I'll enjoy it, but I'll find out when I get around to listening to it. But there you go. That is Crosby and Nash, self-titled. Now then, this one is next, and I think this one has 2 CDs in them. We'll see. Let's find out. Nope, just one. It's just packaged between 2 cardboard, I guess, pieces. I guess sandwich is the better word for it, but let me just get this off it. This CD is, oh, it's stuck, got it. Billy Squier, Enough is Enough. So this is another Billy Squier, so I think this is now the 4th Billy Squier CD I have in my collection now. And there's a big reason why I wanted this album, because there's a song on here called Love is the Hero, and there's a special guest on that track. Singing backing vocals, you have the man, the myth, the legend, Freddie Mercury, which that was enough to sell me on this, to get me the album. I don't know any other song on there besides that, but I've always dug Billy Squier. Like I said, I have quite a decent amount of his albums in my collection already. This actually came with a little card, I guess a little post, or I guess a little, I don't know, I guess business card or whatever, basically thanking me for the purchase. So you're welcome. I did give you a good review, by the way, if you're watching this. But let me take the booklet out. Here's the disc right here, pretty standard disc, nothing too fancy. Then let's take out the booklet. Just kind of show what it is. I mean, the album cover is kind of whatever. It's just a very gruff picture of Billy. I have looked up that this was when his popularity was really waned, after his very questionable music video of Rock Me Tonight, which, you know, has been memed and made fun of to death. But, you know, I don't really let that bother me, even though it's a dumb video. I have heard the song, and the song itself is pretty good. But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. That's on a different album, which I haven't gotten yet. Maybe that'll be the next one. But there you go, Billy Squier, Enough is Enough. Okay, now we have, this is a bit thicker, so maybe this is the one with 2 CDs. Let's see if I'm right this time. I think it's just one still. This is so misleading sometimes. And this is Pin-Ups by David Bowie. I mean, one of the big reasons why I got this is pretty much this is the only 70s album I don't have from David, even though I know this is pretty looked down upon amongst a lot of Bowie fans, because this was basically a contract album. He needed another album, but he didn't really have the material. And so this is essentially a covers album. So you have songs like See Emily Play, I Can't Explain, from The Who, of course, and another Who song with Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere. And there's other songs on here, but again, those are the ones are popping to me at the moment. So I have kind of low expectations, honestly. But you know, it's David Bowie. I'm slowly starting to get his entire discography. But like I said, because I now have this album, I now have all the 70s albums. And so it does come with a booklet. And just in case there's the disc, in case I haven't shown it yet. Comes with this little ad for the other studio albums on here. Then here's the booklet with the album cover, which is just kind of off-putting. So you open it up. Some nice photos though. Of course, by this point his cocaine was really starting to kick in. Short, sweet, gets to the point. And that is another David Bowie album in the collection right there. Pretty cool. Now I'm certain this one only has one. So this is the one, this is the only one not from eBay, by the way. This is actually from Amazon. So I'm still gonna probably title it like eBay mostly, but I don't know, we'll see what I decide on. But this one, we have My Chemical Romance with their album, The Black Parade. Again, shout out to Scott because he actually requested this on my Patreon page, because on my Patreon page you can request an album and I will listen to it regardless of the genre. And again, this was Scott's suggestion, and I don't want to spoil too much, but as you can tell, I bought it. So maybe that will give you an idea on what my thoughts were. But again, if you want to watch that reaction, become a member and you'll get access to the entire reaction to all the songs, and I give my final impressions by the end. But here it is. This is often seen as one of their best albums. Very dark album, a lot of dark themes on it. So depending on how much you tolerate that sort of thing, because I think it does talk about death pretty much a lot. This one folds out, by the way. But if you're like me and you like that sort of dark stuff, and you shouldn't have an issue with it. So you have all this. I think these are all lyrics, which is interesting. And then on the very back, you basically get pretty much a mini poster. I mean, again, I would like to hang this, but again, this has the album cover on this, so I can't really do it, which is kind of a shame. Just gonna slide that back in. But yep, there we go. My Chemical Romance. This came out when again? Like, I know it's like 2000 something, 2006, something like that. I know it's had some big hits on here. I forgot what the hits were. I think Welcome to the Black Parade, I think, was one of them. But again, I'm just going off memory. But it's good to finally have this in the collection. And this is, again, even though I heard it last year, because I bought it, it will be a contender for the top 50 for the end of 2026. So we'll see if this is going to be in the top 50 by the end of the year. Okay, here's another one. Now we're back to the eBay stuff, and this one is just one CD, something like that. And in this one, it's all packaged up. Interesting, in a Ziploc bag, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen that before on this sort of thing. But let's see what it is. And this one is, well, I said they were going to appear again in this video, and no, it did not disappoint. We got the Bee Gees yet again with Children of the World. So now we're in the mid-70s, and this is when the Bee Gees were starting to gain their popularity again. They were starting to get back on the previous album, but here, this is where they really go in on the disco. This had two pretty, well, maybe three. About maybe three big songs on here, and that, of course, is You Should Be Dancing, Love So Right, and Boogie Child, I think, was another kind of notable song on this. So, yeah, there we go. Getting another Bee Gees album in the collection. Here's the disc again. This one's on the Polydor label, as you can kind of see. And then let's look at the booklets on this one. Again, this one's just a little pamphlet. Not much to say on it, really. But there you go. Just gives you some photos and who wrote what. And, yeah, not much to say on this, which is, I don't know, a little disappointing, but, you know, you get what you get. But there you go. Bee Gees, Children of the World in the collection now. All right, now I'm certain, for real, this is the one with 2 discs in it. And these 2 discs, or these 2 albums, I should say, are from the same band. So let's look into this one. comes in orange bubble wrap. Get in there. And the 2 albums are from the band Fanny. So Fanny, I mean, I brought them up a couple times in this channel, but they're definitely one of the more influential all-female rock bands. I mean, they were, even though they didn't really get that big, I mean, they will go on to inspire many other female bands moving forward, like the Bangles, the Go-Go's to an extent. All that can be traced back to this group here. So the 2 albums I have is their 3rd studio album, Fanny Hill. And then I think this was the next album. We have Mother's Pride. Very strange album cover, kind of weird, but anyway. Interesting they come in these little sleeves here. Maybe I should keep these. These are kind of cool. I'll just put those to the side. So again, we're going to start with Fanny Hill in this 3rd album. And for those who don't know, I do own a couple Fanny CDs. I have their first 2 albums, their debut and Charity Ball. And I have their live album, Live in the Beat Club. All good stuff. Like, Fanny's a really solid rock band. If you have not checked out Fanny, definitely worth checking out. So there's the discs there. And let's take out the booklets. Pretty good booklets. It's good that I finally found these because Fanny CDs are pretty hard to come by. They're a bit more rare, mainly because these reissues, I don't think they made too many issues of these. So not really hard, not really easy to come by unless you're very lucky. I was lucky enough to find the first 2 albums in the wild. But I just went to eBay for these and at least got 2. So that's kind of nice. Here we go. That is Fanny Hill. Definitely looking forward to that album. And then here is Mother's Pride. Just take it out again. Got a nice little live shot back there. Very similar format as the last one right here. There's the disc. And then here is the back of the booklet with another nice photo of the band. Just gives you a lot of background info, more photos. These reissues are pretty well done. And they even give you like little info on each song, which is kind of nice. This one's probably the thickest of the 2, which is interesting. I think if I remember correctly, I think this was also produced by Todd Rundgren, which is kind of nice, pretty cool. But there we go, Fanny. Got more. I think they released 1 more as a group, and then I know there's like a reunion album, but it was kind of a slightly different name. Who knows? We'll get those at some point, but there you go. Got more Fanny. And well, we've made it. We've come to the final CD in this video, and whatever album is in this will be the 2000th CD for the collection. So I think I already know what album is in here, but of course you don't know, so it'll be a surprise for you, but maybe not so much for me. But here we go. Let's open the box and let's find out what's inside. Oh, newspaper. All right, this one's also in the bubble wrap. I think I can probably just slide it out, I think. So here we go. Drum roll. The 2000 CD to enter the collection is Main Course by Bee Gees. And yet they pop up yet again. So this is basically the album prior to Children's of the World. And this was kind of when the Bee Gees kind of made their comeback pretty much. Because this had pretty big songs like Nights on Broadway, Jive Talkin', and Fanny, Be Tender With My Love. And there you go. So open it up again on Polydor. And then I think this is another one of these pamphlets. So maybe not the most, extravagant CD for to be 2000th, but hey, I'll take it. And again, another Bee Gees album for the collection. So congratulations to Main Course by the Bee Gees. It is now the 2000th CD to enter the collection. Well, a lot of good stuff in this haul overall. And of course, I will listen to all of these, and I will hopefully get my first impressions out for the CD haul at the end of the month. So before we end the video, let's go ahead. Let's do a brief recap on everything. So we're going to go in reverse order. So we're starting with the 2000 CD with Main Course by the Bee Gees. We have Fanny with Fanny Hill and Mother's Pride. Then we have the Bee Gees again with Children of the World. My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. Pinups by David Bowie. Enough is Enough by Billy Squier. Crosby and Nash by Crosby and Nash. And I started with the Bee Gees and I ended with the Bee Gees. Funny how that worked. But we have Trafalgar by, of course, Bee Gees. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Of course, in the comments below, you can let me know your thoughts on any of these albums that were shown. I look forward to your thoughts. And I do know I have more CDs coming in the mail in a bit. I'm not going to share those on video, but you'll find out what they will be in the CD haul soon. So thank you very much for watching this. If you did, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, links to my social medias and my Patreon page all in the description. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.